Thank you. I'm humbled. I'm very pleased to be with you. I'm not a politician. I'm a former diplomat. And I would like to respond briefly to the two presentations. Thank you for both. I want you to win. It's not a battle, but I want you to succeed. My key question for Yossi is, as I mentioned over coffee, how do we collectively reach the Israeli electorate to want what you want? Can I say a brief word about the UK position? Chris talked about the situation up here in Scotland. If I can say a brief word about Westminster, because our colleagues are going down there shortly. Britain will recognise the state of Palestine on the 22nd of September. That's a given now. It's not stated. There will be an assessment by the officials. But Netanyahu rejected the rather bizarre conditions set by Starmer, and therefore there is no assessment to make. So we will recognise. I want that to lead to a change of mindset in our own country. I represent a charity called the Britain-Palestine Project, which looks back at the narrative, is a source of knowledge, more about what the Brits did, right and wrong, mainly wrong, than about what happened after 1948. But it is a reliable source of knowledge about what we did, and what we did was prevent representative institutions for as long as there was an Arab majority, up until 48, starting with Balfour and before. Two more quick words. One is on international law, which has been spoken of often today by Daniel and many more. It has to be the foundation of what we do. It's what we've got. We're losing it. We have to keep it. We have to sustain it. And the only way to sustain it is to implement it. I fear the UN Security Council is broken, and I fear the EU, which we sadly left, is divided, not because of us this time, but is divided. And therefore, there has to be a coalition of the willing, which outstrips those two institutions, to do stuff. And my last remark would be on the possible next steps. We can talk after this afternoon about next steps. But if there is a way of bringing together, maybe on Zoom, parliamentarians from Europe, more than are here, including France, Spain, and so on, to talk to each other in the way that we have talked and are talking today, that would be a good thing. We had an attempt at it with an organization called the European Parliamentarians for Israeli-Palestinian Equality. The Secretariat became overwhelmed and it is now dormant. But it was a good idea. It was a bit of a talking shop. It needs to be operationalized if it can be done. And my very last remark, I'm partly Irish, so I have several last remarks. But my last remark is that the priority today is not so much recognition, important as it is, because it could change mindsets. It's to stop the genocide.